If you or someone you care about has been diagnosed with cancer, then this letter is for you. I've been diagnosed twice in the last 6 years. First with stage 3C metastatic melanoma at the age of 30, and then a stage 4 recurrence last year at the age of 35. I've also gone into remission twice. Neither of those things makes me an expert. Everyone's cancer experience is different, from their diagnosis to their prognosis to their life situation to their approach to their treatment to their outcome. But what I really wish is that when I first had to deal with this fucked up mess, someone had said some of these things to me, so I'm going to try and do that today. Dearly diagnosed. Hey, cancer, huh? That sucks. There are a lot of slogans and phrases and platitudes that you're going to hear. Some might resonate with you more than others. But the only one that has stuck with me through 6 years and that I'm going to reiterate right now is that cancer just sucks. It's also weird. Depending on where you're at in this situation, it might not even feel real yet. You're probably scared or confused, and you're almost certainly in shock. You could also be defiant and optimistic and brave, or you could just be chilling and waiting for more information. There are no rules. Don't let anyone tell you how you're supposed to feel about your cancer diagnosis, but also don't fight your emotions. They exist for a reason. A lot of people are going to tell you that they're so sorry, that you're so brave, and that you got this. People are going to tell you a lot crazier shit than that. People are going to tell you about their relatives that have gotten it and died, or their friend who had the same cancer as you and lived with some complications. Neither of those stories really do anything for me, but it makes other people feel better because no one knows what to say when you get cancer. People with zero qualifications will tell you how you got your cancer, and sometimes strangely why you got cancer. And a lot of people will definitely tell you how to cure your cancer. We're talking fad diets and alternative medicines and thoughts and prayers and this one study that they read. The amount of weed dealers and holistic shamans that you know is about to rise exponentially. A few idiots aside, most of these people mean well. Cancer is so common that everyone knows about it and certainly understands the existential ramifications, but not enough people understand how overwhelming cancer is and what it actually takes on an individual basis to get through a diagnosis and treatment. Most of the time, the people saying these crazy expressions and suggestions are just trying to protect themselves and you from thinking about the reality of how you have to get through this nightmare. And let me tell you, it's not by water fasting or cutting out sugar from your diet or praying to any number of deities that you may or may not believe in. And that's not me knocking anyone's beliefs. If faith is important to you or your family or your support group, please incorporate it into your treatment and your recovery process. I know that personally I wanted to focus on things that I thought would tangibly help me, and I've gotten the same response from thousands of other cancer patients who I've talked to in the last 6 years, so here are a few things I think are really important. You're going to need that support system I just referenced, and it starts with a good team and an oncologist and an accessible clinic that you can trust. I know it's fashionable to shit on big pharma or insurance or the system, but there's a reason that people go to school and become medical professionals to help people with one of the most nefarious diseases in human history, and that is to help people get rid of the disease. You're about to make big decisions about what might be the most dangerous thing you face in your life, so it might be time to cast aside bias that you've heard on the internet or on the news and let actual experts walk you through this. Again, your choice, but I would recommend you do that. Also, it's worth noting that cancer treatment is getting better and better every year. That's not to say they're easy to do or 100% guaranteed to succeed, but the effectiveness is going up and the toxicity is going down as we get better and better medical technology. You don't have to agree with everyone and you don't have to try everything you hear, but I promise the level of empathy that you're going to get from cancer patients is far greater than someone who hasn't gone through this. And the best part is if you find something that you like and it sticks in your process, it's going to be a very, very big positive in getting through this. And believe me, it is a process to keep your mental health intact during cancer. Also, if you don't feel like you're getting the proper care or medical attention from a facility near you, please, 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 please get a second opinion. You need to be comfortable with the path that you're taking, and you need to learn to advocate for yourself while you're a cancer patient. Another critical part of your support system is the people around you who are actually willing to help. This could be your spouse, your partner, your kids, your parents, other family, friends, neighbors, you get it. But the important part is that you communicate your needs to them. You are not a burden and you have to learn how to advocate for yourself. There are also likely to be assistance programs or local nonprofits that work with the hospital or the oncology clinic that you go to, and these could yield things like financial aid or informational resources or trips to and from treatment or food or mental health resources. These are going to vary wildly in what's available to you and what you're going to want, but make sure to open your mouth and press about all the needs that you could get from them because you're going to have to be your own advocate. Go to therapy. If you haven't tried it, try it. If it's not for you, don't keep going. Talk to friends and family who have experienced cancer. Talk to strangers who have experienced cancer. Join forums and support groups on the internet and watch weird YouTube videos from people who have gone through cancer. You also need to be physically kind to yourself to have the best chance of getting through the treatment and recovery plan put in front of you. That means you need to hydrate a ton, you need to eat well, you need to sleep or at least rest whenever you can. Don't worry about what you look like or what people think during this time period. You need to eat food that allows you to get through the side effects of what the disease, the stress, and the treatment are going to incur. Along those same lines, I would try to exercise as much as your body will allow for without making you feel miserable during treatment. This means even if you're just walking down the block or jogging or stretching on your most difficult days, try and get your blood moving, try and keep yourself active during this time. I was lucky. I was able to keep playing basketball and running and lifting all throughout treatment, and it definitely helped me physically and mentally. But keep in mind, everyone is coming from a different starting point, so don't overexert yourself and make sure that you're not feeling too fatigued from your treatment. I'm going to stop giving you informational advice because this is not a guide on how to beat cancer. This is a starting point. This is a frame of reference for you to build your skills on how you're going to get through your own cancer diagnosis. You might want to come back to this from time to time too. Cancer has a way of making things pretty fuzzy and foggy, so don't feel bad if you forget things. Oh, that's another good note. When you're in appointments and when you think of things that might help you, write them down. You're going to want to look back and remember what you were thinking because brain fog is a real thing. Before we get out of here, I want to acknowledge the relationship that we might have, as well as the ones you can develop with other people both online and in the cancer community. It's a big, big world, but I promise that I and other people who have gone through this truly care about making it easier for others who are going to go through it in the future. Because at the end of the day, that's all cancer is. It's just a human experience, albeit a really shitty one, and one that we shouldn't have to go through alone. You're going to have your own process and you're going to go through your own version of it, and you don't have to be perfect. Remember that. You're not expected to be perfect in any facet of your normal life, and especially not during cancer. It also just sucks that you're part of this club now. I can't promise that everything's going to be okay, but more often than not, it will be. Cancer treatment is getting better and better. I care about you and I can empathize with you even if I might not know you. Cancer is a shitty situation, but it is a lot easier if we go through it together. Don't forget to hydrate. Bye.